The basis of Radio Wonderland is that I take slices of radio and cut them up and then deploy the cut up bits on a rhythmic grid. And yesterday was all we had. Fall of 2007, I think that's about when it was, I realized I have not utterly, thoroughly, 100% debugged my own code. However, right now the state of performing this is hampered more by my lack of knowing how to do it and lack of rehearsal than it is by the bugs. I could put this on stage, work around the bugs, and 6 months of being on stage is going to put this out in the world, and it's going to get that much better than 6 more months of programming to iron out the last few bugs or add the last few features that I want. So all of a sudden I realized, oh, it's not a matter of being done and then going on stage. I'm going on stage now. I made a deal with myself. Not only was I going to stop coding, but I was going to not write another line of code, only since it's Max MSP, it's not drag another line, connecting line with the mouse until I had a record out. No more software. I was declaring a technology freeze. I wasn't going to upgrade any piece of hardware or software until I had that record out. So I figured I'd gig for a year, do the record, upgrade the software. Instead, it was a few years of gigging. And now it's antique software. It is a power book, a G3 power book. And it's the same thing with my tape loop stuff. When I started doing tape loops, I was high tech, and I had no consideration that I was low tech. But then I did it for so many years, I became this like low tech. It was cool that I was doing this such low tech stuff when I just kept on doing what I was doing. And the same thing kind of happened with Radio Wonderland, where I had a power book that was state of the art, and I just kept it. And I'm so glad I did. Now, my case might be extreme, but there are musicians and composers who are upgrading so fast, I feel like they're not going into depth. On the other hand, they don't need to go into depth the way I do. But let me just lengthen the decay. Or by the same token, put him in a position with. So that's the one that sounded most like a regular instrument, I think. It's just perfect. It sounds a lot like an 808 or a 909, like snare, doesn't it? I couldn't believe it when I found that. It's a way of talking. It's a way of negotiating the world by quoting the mainstream stuff in this kind of snarky way. And I feel in many ways culturally we're past that. I'm past that. But it's like it's a language. That kind of appropriation. And it is, maybe this is a loaded word, but it is subversive. It is knocking, needling, and when I'm cutting it up, it is cutting up the mainstream culture. It may be very basic, okay, but great. Be basic. Also, it's ubiquitous, so it's something that's familiar, and when I process the familiar, the process is that much more transparent. Just like when you do a cover tune, if you have an odd musical bent, your odd musical bent can be revealed by performing someone else's work That's why Devo's version of Satisfaction is so great, because we know this song, here's our angle on it, and you get what Devo is.
No, sis. Ridiculous.
Wow!
All your nitrates and oils. Roots, tremendous, well, agent. Oh.
Going to be you?
Yes.
And you,
Yes.
And you, okay?
Yes.
And you back to Evan Brady?
No!
God's honor to the rest
Ridiculous.
of the world!
Ridiculous.
Wow!
Well, we're one great truth in the world.
God's honor!
Scan is a bad agent. Oh, no!
God, you.
Yes.
And you,
Yes.
And you, and
Yes.
And you, Matthew Harrison Brady?
No!
Son, God's honor to the rest
Ridiculous.
of the world!
Ridiculous.
Wow!
There's only one great truth in the world.
God's honor!
Good man is a free agent. Ah!
There's no one right context, but if you can create a context in which the best choice is going to be by the roll of the dice, you've created a beautiful situation. I guess what I'm talking about is, hey, we're stochastic instead of completely random. And I like the negotiation of what's chance and what's not chance. And also the extremes of how much I prepare, how much I work on my algorithms, and then how much I'm dependent on what happens to be on the radio, or with headphone-driven performance, how rigorous my input is and how it interacts with the complete lack of control of the performers. But what you were saying is the chance choice can be the best choice if in the right context. Yeah, so it's building the kind of context that can do that, gives me something that to my ear is just better than any other way. And it's such a beautiful thing. You feel like you're tapping into something.